Hi folks, here's a quick story and a life lesson that you might find interesting. Back in my mid-20s, I found myself being reawakened to my faith in Jesus. I was engaging the process of becoming a faltering follower of the Fair One. And along the way, I ended up in this little small church plant. It was meeting as a house church initially. And during those very formative years in that process, I had this yearning again to make music. Whenever I was a kid, I always had an interest in guitars, but I never learned to play an instrument. I attempted at numerous occasions, failed miserably, never had anybody really to teach me. And then in this season of my life, my mid-20s, this thing started bubbling up in me again. And there was one particular day I was in my mum's living room staring out the window, gazing into the distance, and I had this internal conversation going on with God. And I kind of said, God, I've never been able to play guitar, but I think I could probably master a bass guitar. It's only got 4 strings. It's got to be easier. I think I could do that. It was kind of almost an inarticulate conversation, but that's the general gist of the thought process. So the next day, I find myself in Belfast, which is about an hour's drive away. It's not where I live. And I'm walking along Great Victoria Street. I turn the corner into Howard Street. These are 2 major streets in the centre of Belfast. And I immediately bump into the guy who's the pastor of the church. And you know that thing, whenever you're not somewhere local, you bump into somebody you know, but it's out of your normal context. You normally say something like, oh, fancy meeting you here, or goodness, what are you doing here? None of that. Walked around the corner, bumped into him. He locked eyes on me, I locked eyes on him. And the first thing he said was, do you think you could play bass guitar? And I eyes went wide. I think, yes, I think I could. Funny you should ask. And he went on to tell me that somebody had donated a bass guitar to the church. Actually, it was a really nice vintage Fender Music Master short scale bass and an amp. And so he said to me, you've got 6 weeks to learn it. And that was it. 6 weeks to learn the bass. We started playing bass guitar in the worship team, and I eventually went on to becoming the worship leader of that church. And that all led to this amazing journey where decades later I've ended up living a life now where music is my main thing that I do for a living. I had the privilege of traveling the world. Even though I'm flying below the radar of fame and fortune, I have enjoyed many benefits in life just because I've ended up, because of that simple saying yes, and we're starting where I thought it was possible. So the moral of the story is, a couple of morals actually: don't despise the day of small beginnings, first of all. Secondly, those kind of childhood kind of seeds of desire for things like that sometimes contain things that affect the trajectory of your life, and whenever you embrace them, and it's never too late to do so. I didn't start to learn to play guitar until my mid-20s. I didn't end up being a full-time musician until my mid-40s. So being a late developer is no bad thing in some ways. So anyway, all that to say, the life lesson is start where you're at and just follow the curiosity and see where it goes. It could lead to a lifelong adventure. Anyway, bless you guys. Speak soon. Bye.